Okay, so suffering is part in this world. So people may tend to neglect or deviate from such suffering, but it will only lead you to more suffering because you are going to deviate the kind of emotion that you need to go through in order for you to grow. And that's why most of the people are experiencing much more suffering in their mind because they more into scared onto the suffering that they should focus on and improving themselves in order for them to overcome this kind of suffering. And a lot of people are going to go through a certain pleasure in order for them to be able to forget all the suffering that they have. And that kind of way or path of your own is like you're going to add more of it because if there's happiness, there's always sadness. The yin yang principle or the Tao is very correct on to this notion because once we experience such thing, there's an opposite action reaction in it. So therefore, if you are so happy in terms of pleasure, a relative happiness is caused by a certain external factors which you experience such happiness, a certain evoke of an emotion. So therefore you're depending yourself towards the external factors, towards somebody or towards any substance that makes you happy. These may lead you to more suffering because you are bound or inclined to attach yourself onto these things and not knowing the consequences of your actions that may lead to more suffering. And you must know that this suffering is always in you, is always in this world, this saha world, or in Sanskrit, the suffering. We need to accept the suffering and also the joy because these worlds are innate in these things based on this natural law. If we have a certain action, there's an equal and opposite reaction in it. So we should be able to know the consequences of our action and aware and be conscious at the present. Because once we take a decision and go beyond our own understanding and not knowing the consequences, it will lead you to self empty, the emptiness of yourself. You will be discouraged, and the feeling of negative emotion is there, and you need to accept it and find your. You need to seek the answers of your own suffering, and you need to study it in order for you to grow instead of suffering and instead of thinking negatively. You must be able to find the solutions of your own suffering because we people are the creator of our own suffering. We create problems. We more make it worse. That's the problem. So therefore we should be conscious and aware of our actions so that we could improve ourselves to better selves. And therefore we could debate from such suffering. We could be able to aware ourselves that there is suffering in this kind of decision and action. We should not enter onto this path because this will only lead you to more and more suffering. So learning the things that makes you suffer is also about move to be able to not fall onto the hell of this suffering. And these substances that most people are into attached with, it will only cause them more and more suffering. Because happiness, when you attach to pleasure, is called constipated expressions. That means that easily means that it happens little by little. If you achieve a certain things like pleasure in alcohol or substances, then afterwards it will decrease and lessen the emotions that evoke, and you will feel empty, and you will chase after it and lessen the evoke of emotions, and it will lead you to the cycle of suffering. And that won't help you for your own self, for your inner self. That won't help you because it will only lead you to more and more.